Ladies and gentlemen, our presenter today is an engineering graduate from the University of Surrey, UK. An active member in many NGOs, he was in the Kazan Chamber of Commerce and Industry since 2002, holding various positions, and currently the chairman of Domestic and International Trade. A graduate member of IEM, he was recently appointed as the advisor to the Borneo Economic Trade and Promotion Association. He is also the current BIMP-EAGA Business Council chairman. Please welcome the personable, accomplished, and handsome gentleman, Mr. Carl Moosom, to deliver his presentation on the regional business opportunities of BIMP-EAGA. Mr. Carl, please.
Thank you. First of all, I'm very happy to be here, but I'm equally nervous. You know, when you go to a karaoke room and you wish to be the first singer, because after that, all the good singers come out, and that is where you stop singing. And how I wish the master of ceremony gave me the first mic from this early morning, and before me, all the learned speakers. So I try my best to deliver what's been tasked of me today. Firstly, a very good morning to Yang Amat Berbahagia, Tan Sri Pandikar Amin Haji Mulia, our guest of honor, the special envoy and advisor to the Yang Amat Berhormat Kota Menteri Sabah. To Dr. Marcus Mojigo, congratulations on being installed the 2022 President ASEAN. And Datin, to Mr. Robert Ng, JCI Senator Sakinolin, the organizing committee, thank you for inviting me. Since the very beginning, I think it was postponed twice, if I recall, and yet she continued to engage with me, and it's an honor for the BEBC Sabah, especially to be invited to speak a little bit on BIMP-EAGA. Distinguished guests, to all the participants virtually, Bapak-Bapak, Ibu-Ibu from Indonesia, to my colleagues from Brunei, and to the board of directors of BIMP-EAGA in the 4 country member, ladies and gentlemen, and last but not least, members of the press. So can I have my slide, please? So today I was asked to talk on regional business opportunities, but I probably focus more on what is BIMP-EAGA. Contrary to what everybody understands about it, I believe there's a lot of misunderstanding or miscommunication, and I try to dissect a little bit and make you understand more on what is BIMP-EAGA actually is. Okay, I was told by the organizing committee that I'm given 15 minutes. However, I like to compress that under instruction by Puan Saki as well, that it needs to be delivered less than 10 minutes, and I'll try my best. So I'll have this few, what you call subject to talk about. I'll go immediately on BIMP-EAGA. I do not want to dwell on the history. The sub-region encompasses a total land area of 1.6 million kilometers with an estimated population of 70 million. Apart from 3 key mainland, which is the Borneo Island, the Mindanao and Sulawesi Barat, Sulawesi and West Papua, the sub-region is sparsely divided by the Sulu Sea, the Celebes Sea, Java, and the Banda Seas in the south. But unique to IAGA, I suppose, we exist 2 time zones. So for all of you who doesn't know, between Jakarta and Nusantara is 1 hour time difference, and between Sabah and West Papua is also 1 hour difference. So next, I'd like to touch on institution. I think this is very important so that you understand where we are. The BIMP-EAGA institutional structure is modeled after the ASEAN institutional framework, sharing a multi-tiered and hierarchical structure. As you know, I am reading from an official blueprint that we organized in the BIMP-EAGA. The institutional structure delineates the roles and responsibilities of the institutional mechanism. What I want to share here is and give you an overview of our annual meeting agenda. So every column you see here denotes a particular meeting, and below that there will be subgroup. And basically in a year, we attend close to between, on average, 18 to 25 meetings in a year throughout IAGA locations. So the framework basically, again, is a subset of the ASEAN. In light of the fact that the BIMP-EAGA initiative is considered a building block of ASEAN economic integration, the BIMP-EAGA senior officials meeting agreed to align the period of this strategic plan with that of the ASEAN Vision 2025, forging ahead together. So in other words, this is not a trading block. This is a government initiative cooperation platform on the BIMP-EAGA. So all BIMP-EAGA initiative will consider environmental impact and seek the sustainable management of natural resources. Unfortunately, we only have this 2017 statistic to share, and due to pandemic, an updated version is becoming of a challenge. We are yet to realize the true significant impact as well as estimated growth as we are dealing another calamity in the Eastern Europe. So these are all interconnected. But what is interesting to share here is the EAGA GDP registered for the first time in 2015 is at USD 287 billion and accounting for 17.4% of the BIM country with a combined population of 75.8 million, basically 19% of the BIM member country. At present, the EAGA economy is lagging behind compared to her national economy. But what is interesting is reported the growth rate of EAGA is better than that of ASEAN at 5.7% compared to the ASEAN at 5.3%. And we hope post-pandemic, this growth will continue to sustain or improve. Next, I'll go to the BEBC. Tan Sri has spoken a little bit on our programs and initiative. I do not want to dwell too much. However, we adopt our own rules and mechanism regarding representation and participation in sub-regional meetings, consistent with but independent of the public sector institutional structure. There are 12 board members. I am representing Malaysia, obviously, and there is another one from Labuan as well as in Sarawak. So these are basically the member board of directors at present. If you can see, to my friends from the Philippines, they have appointed an alternate director in the name of Danica Joy Tan. For all of you who doesn't know who is Danica, she is the operator of the ASSEAN shipping between Zamboanga to Sandakan. So maybe perhaps Datu Marcus, in future, should you want to do your meeting in Zamboanga, you may sail from the port of Sandakan all the way direct to Zamboanga. By the way, they have been our backbone success story about the backbone economy of BIMP-EAGA between Zamboanga and Sandakan. And contrary, again, to what you all been hearing, we have not received any security scare for the past 27 years of this vessel operating. This is the BEBC Sabah that we have adopted. Okay, now we move on to the main topic, which is the business opportunities. But maybe perhaps I do not want to, like I said, on the interest of time, I'll just like to share some of the photographs that you see on slide. Majority of our members are SMEs, 90%, I would say. The picture you see with the ship, this actually is the first day of the butter trade opening in Labuan. At that time, we had the butter trade operation in Sabah was seized due to security issues. We had the Tanduo case, we had the kidnapping case, and hence the butter trade was seized for a couple of years in Sabah. And when it finally opened, on the consent of the federal government, they only opened up Labuan. So I went on site to inspect, and despite the long absence of butter trade, this vessel was chartered by our trader from Vietnam, carrying 120 container of rice and sugar. And what you see here is the operation unloading a container into a lorry, and then just next to it, it's not in the picture, the kumpit or the traditional wooden ship is on standby to unstuff the cargo from the container. And then the other one, the picture you see on the right, this is another success story, in my view anyway. This is a new noodle factory that just opened in KKIP, and I'm very happy to report here a couple of months back, or rather in January, I think, they just delivered their first 7 container of Sabah noodle, going to Cagayan de Oro. And we made to understand a repeat order is in the process. Below, the two pictures you see there are the visit made by the provincial government of Tawi-Tawi. They came to Qantas with the intention to sign or to negotiate a confirmed volume of cooking oil, which is quite popular in the BIMP-EAGA market. And on the right to that, IBS factory, the governor himself wanted to purchase, or in the middle of negotiating, 2,000 units worth of IBS completely fabricated in KKIP factory. So these are some of the business activities that is ongoing in BIMP-EAGA today, or particularly in Sabah. So my next slide, I purposely put this, and I thought I needed to explain or give you an overview what's been hindering our progress in BIMP-EAGA. I know a lot of you, especially when I'm in a coffee shop, telling me that BIMP-EAGA is just talk and there's no progress. But believe you me, since the inception of Special Envoy, we have had a lot of progress. And I will show you in a couple of slides. But what I want to share here is not to angkat kaki sama saya punya boss ini, Tan Sri Pandikar. I think there's no need to do that. But in the Philippines, what they have done is they have created what we call a federal agency to oversee all the development of BIMP-EAGA in that part of the world. I'm on one side in Malaysia, we hope the same would happen in future. And for the Philippines, it's called the Mindanao Development Authority, or MINDA. And the chairmanship of that MINDA status is actually a minister. And today, he or she is the signing minister for BIMP-EAGA Philippines. And we hope in future, from a special envoy, this status can be elevated to a minister as well. But allow me just to explain to you why this is important for Malaysia. just less than 1 year, our cooperation, BEBC and the Special Envoy, Tan Sri has worked very hard together with us, and as well as the not only state government, but as well as the federal government. We have already inked 300 billion peso of investment between Mindanao, BAM, and another recently, that was 2 weeks ago, Tan Sri mentioned that we went to Makassar on a 4-hour road journey, inking an MOU amounting to USD 11 million. So this 11 million is basically a sea connectivity investment between the port of Tanjung Silopo in Sulawesi Barat directly to Sabah. And this will be the first time, apart from Zamboanga to Senakan, I think we will have another connectivity direct to Indonesia. I think this is good news to a lot of traders. And if you ask me what are the business opportunities, I'll give you that idea to work on. Today, we have one businessman in Jakarta who is actually from Kepayan, not far from this from KK City. He's residing there and doing business, doing import and export business. Most of the stuff that he imports today are plastic goods from Tomhe. Monthly, he is supposed to import something like 20 to 30 TEUs, and that's 40-footer, by the way. Unfortunately, because of sea connectivity issue, this container has to travel from KK Spanggar to Bintulu, to Port Klang, and sometimes to Johor, and then waiting for the mothership to collect to go to Palindo Port in Jakarta. So that is basically works out to be between 2 to 3 months. As I said, his request is actually 20 to 40 container per month, but unfortunately, that is the case today. So we hope to get your support. If there's any investor here today, we are very happy to talk with you, how we can facilitate and complement this investment between the companies from Sulawesi and in Sabah. So I'll just touch on the pictures. The A, B, C, D, E that you see, it has been my or our initiative for the past 6 years, 7 years now. And as I said, ever since Tan Sri came into being, our progress with the state government and federal government has been very, very positive. Unfortunately, the Kudat to Palawan that you all been hearing about, that is the vessel on top. Yeah, this is supposed to be the Ro-Ro ferry. It's hampered because the investor concerned that the vessel has been commissioned as domestic vessel. They are required to comply with the IMO, and we are still working with the Special Envoy Office on this matter. This is the one that we signed in Makassar in Sulawesi. This is a ferry vessel with a capacity of 1,400 passengers. So you can imagine 1,000 tourists coming in from Sulawesi going into the shores of Sandakan or Lahadatu. We are still trying to work out on the port facility for this to call. But what we are saying is the tourism dollar that comes into to our shores is very much needed after pandemic. But apart from this, the investor has also committed to call in a dedicated cargo vessel. So again, I call all of you who has businesses in Indonesia to use this service. And good news to Labuan, the picture you see below, this is supposed to be the replacement ferry between Labuan to Muara, Brunei. At present, I understand the journey time is 2 hours. With this commission soon, the moment it's still in dry dock in Miri. Once it's commissioned, I understand the travel journey will be less by half an hour. All right. So I don't want to go through all, but I think the major issue in BIMP-EAGA today that we face narrowed to just one, which is security. But as I said, we have been doing service between Zamboanga and Senakan for the past 25 years. There's no security scare there. What we hear are only isolated cases actually, and we hope the government will look into on trying to synchronize or reconcile with the BIMP-EAGA National Secretariat on trying to overcome this matter. Because if security is the only problem out there, then my question is, what the hell is ESCOM doing? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, thank you for your ear, and I hope I didn't take too much time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carl, for that concise presentation on the overview of BIMP-EAGA and the business opportunities.